I'm Dr. Aparna Yadav, Assistant Professor, Department of Botany, J.M. Patel Arts, Commerce and Science College, Bandara, and today I am going to deliver a lecture on cycas, which is a gymnosperm. Hello everyone. First, we will see the systematic position of the cycas. Cycas belongs to the division Cycadophyta, class Gymnospermae, order Cycadelus, family Cycadaceae, and genus is Cycas, and it is commonly known as cycads. They originated from the seed ferns, that is Cycadophyllus, towards the end of the Carboniferous period and formed a dominant vegetation during the Triassic period of Mesozoic era. Therefore, this period is known as Age of Cycads. Cycas is most widely distributed genus of order Cycadellus. Cycas genus, indigenous to the Orient, is found wild or cultivated in the tropical and subtropical region of the world. There are about 20 species which occur in the wild state in China, Japan, Australia, Africa, Nepal, Bangladesh, Burma, and India. The sporophytic plant body of Cycas attains a height of 8 to 15 feet or more and appears like a small palm. The plant body of Cycas is well differentiated into roots, stems, and leaves. Cycas roots are divided into two types, normal roots and corolite roots. Now, the normal roots means which grow deep into the soil and are well branched and positively geotropic. Here, positively geotropic means when a plant's root grows toward the soil or towards to the gravitational force. Now we will see the coroloid root. Coroloid root look like a coral and it is dichotomously branched, fleshy, and it is negatively geotropic and arise from the lateral branches of the normal root. Now here, negatively geotropic means when plants root grow above the soil or against the gravitational force. Corolite roots are green in color because of the presence of an algal zone. The algal zone consists of a nostoc and anemona, which are the members of Mexophyceae. Due to the presence of endophytic algae, these roots become swollen, appear like a coral, and hence named as a corolite root. It is assumed that they might help in nitrogen fixation due to the presence of bacteria and symbiotic algae. The stem is erect, stout, which is normally unbranched, look like a thick columnar or pillar-like structure with persistent leaf bases or arbor. The stem also bears several sessile fleshy adventitious buds called bulbils. And you can see at the apex of the stem is present a crown of leaves which arranged spirally. Cycas leaves are of two types, foliage leaves and scaly leaves. Foliage leaves are green in color, large, pinnately compound and may reach up to 3 to 5 feet or more in length. Foliage leaf consists of a hard rachis having many leaflets arranged in two rows on both the sides, which you can clearly see in the slide. Each cycas leaflet is subsessile and lanceolate in shape, having an acute apex, and a midrib is present in each leaflet. When both rachis and leaflet are coiled in the young stage, it is called as cercinate vernation. Scaly leaves are dry, brown colored, covered with many hair and present at the apex of the stem. Now we will discuss about the anatomy of cycas root. The outermost layer of root is circular in outline and it is called as epiblemma. It consists of many tangentially elongated cells with root hairs. Inner to the epiblemma is the presence of parenchymatous cortex with many intercellular spaces which are filled with starch and tannin. Inner to the cortex is a single layer endodermis having Casparian strips and multi-layer pericycle. Vascular bundle are radial. Radial means when xylem and phloem are present on different radii. Now, xylem is exarch in condition. Exarch condition means in which the protoxylem is directed toward the periphery and metaxylem toward the center. And the development of the xylem in this arrangement follows the centripetal pattern, and it is the characteristic of roots. Now, here it is generally diarch, but sometimes protoxylem strands range from 3 to 80 number. The exarch protoxylem contains spiral thickenings, while the metaxylem has scalariform thickening. The phloem consists of sieve tubes, phloem parenchyma, and present alternate to the side. Anatomy of corolli root of cycas. It is similar in many aspects to the normal root, except a few following differences. It is circular in outline and the outermost layer is called as epiblema, but a maturity cork as well as cork cambium develops. Root hairs are normally absent. Cortex is parenchymatous and divisible into outer cortex, inner cortex, and middle cortex. Middle cortex comprises of algal zone where Anabena, nostoc, oscillatoria are present. Details of endodermis, pericycle, and vascular bundle are same as in normal root. Here, xylem is in exarch and triarch condition. Normally, the secondary growth is absent. Anatomy of young stem. Young stem, it is wavy or irregular in outline. The outermost layer is the epidermis, which consists of compactly arranged thick-walled cells. Due to the presence of persistent leaf bases and woody scales. Cortex is very large and it is parenchymatous and contains many girdle traces and mucilaginous ducts. Each mucilaginous duct remains bounded by many epithelial cells or secretory cells. Endodermis and pericycle are not very clear. The vascular cylinder is ectoploic syphnostele. Now, ectoploic syphnostele means stele consisting of a core of pith surrounded by concentric layer of xylem and phloem. Now, ectoploic syphnostele is a monostele type of syphnostele in which a ring of xylem occurs around the pith and a ring of phloem outside the xylem. Here, many vascular bundles are arranged in a ring. Each vascular bundle is conjoint, collateral, open and attached. Conjoint and collateral means when xylem and phloem are arranged together in same radius, with the phloem located toward the periphery and xylem toward the center. In open type of vascular bundle, the cambium is present between the xylem and phloem. In enlarged type, the protoxylem is formed toward the center and metaxylem formed toward the periphery. In young stem of cycas, xylem consists of tracheitis and xylem parenchyma. There is no vessels. Outside the xylem is the phloem, which consists of sieve tubes and phloem parenchyma. Companion cells are absent. In the center of the stem, there is a pith. Many mucilage ducts are present in the pith. Now, we will see the structure of old stem of cycas. Here, secondary growth is present. A thick outer periderm followed by large parenchymatous cortex having many leaf traces and mucilaginous ducts are present in the old stem. Vascular strands are present in the form of rings. Medullary rays are also common, which clearly you can see in the slides. The number of vascular rings is variable from 2 to 14 in different species, thus showing polyzylic condition. Other details are similar to that of the young stem. Anatomy of rachis and TS of rachis. The outermost layer consists of thick walled epidermis, which is heavily cuticularized with sunken stomata. Below the epidermis, there is a presence of chlorophyll cells of chlorenchyma, which is followed by thick-walled sclerenchymatous cells. Below the sclerenchyma, thin-walled parenchymatous cells present with mucilaginous canals and vascular bundles. Mucilaginous canal consisting of an inner layer of epithelial cells. Vascular bundle are arranged in omega-shaped manner you can see in the slide. Each vascular bundle is conjoined, collateral and open and remains surrounded by a bundle sheath. In vascular bundle, the xylem is present toward inner side consisting of tracheids and xylem parenchyma with no vessels. It is separated from the phloem by the cambium. The xylem is diploxylic in nature. That is, it consists of centripetal and centrifugal xylem. Phloem is present on outer side and consists of sieve tubes and phloem parenchyma with no companion cells. In this slide, we will study about the internal structure of cycas leaflet or TS of cycas leaflet. The outermost layer consists of thick-walled epidermis surrounded by a layer of cuticle with sunken stomata. Below the epidermis, there is a presence of sclerenchymatous hypodermis. Mesophyll tissue is well differentiated into palisade and spongy parenchyma. The internal structure of cycas leaflet shows the presence of few layers of transversely elongated cells which are present in both the wings, just in between the palisade and spongy parenchyma. This is called as secondary transfusion tissue. A single vascular bundle is present in the midrib portion of the leaflet. The vascular bundle is conjoined, collateral and open. It is diploxylic. The triangular centripetal xylem is well developed with enlarged protoxylem. Centrifugal xylem is represented by two small groups on either side of protoxylem. Phloem is arc-shaped and remains separated from the cambium. Each vascular bundle is surrounded by a bundle sheath. The portion of the midrib in between the palisade layer and lower hypodermal region is filled with parenchymatous cells, of which some cells contain calcium oxalate crystals. In this slide, we will study the microsporophyll or male cone of cycas. The plant are strictly dioecious. Dioecious means in cycas, the male cone and female cone are borne on separate plant. The male cone is solitary and terminal in position. It is oval or slightly conical in shape with a short stalk. Male structure are in the form of compact conical body called male strawbills or male cone. It is very large conical or ovoid structure reaching sometime up to 0.5 meter in length. On the cone axis are attached many leafy structures at right angle. These are called microsporophyll. Microsporophyll is flat, leafy-like body and brown colored structure with narrow base and expanded upper portion. Upper expanded portion becomes pointed and called apophysis, which clearly you can see in the slide. Each microsporangium is an oval or sac-like structure with a short stalk. It encloses many microspores or pollen grains. Each pollen grain is a rounded uninucleated structure surrounded by an outer thick exine and inner thin entyme. Many microsporangia are present on abaxial side. Here, abaxial side means where microsporangia are present on lower surface. Each shortly stalked sporangium is surrounded by many layers with the innermost layer of tapetum. Many pollen grain are present in each sporangium. Megasporophyll or female cone of Zygus. There is no true female cone or strobalus. It means the female strobalus consists of a set of loosely arranged megasporophylls. Each megasporophyll has a rachis-like part covered with ramenta and being two rows of ovules on the lateral side. Megasporophyll are arranged spirally at the apex of the stem in a very large number, and thus it appears like a rosette. It is loosely arranged in acropetal succession. Each megasporophyll is a flat body consisting of an upper dissected or pinnate leafy portion and a lower stalk. On stalk, the ovules are arranged in two rows. The ovules are green when young, but at maturity they are fleshy and bright orange or red colored structures. In this slide, we will study the longitudinal section of ovule. The ovule is orthotropous and unitegmic. Unitegmous means it is made up of single tegmen. The single integument is very thick and covers the ovule from all the sides except at mouth-like opening called micropyle, which you can see clearly in the slide. Single integument consists of following three layers. Outer green or orange fleshy layer is called as sarcotesta. Middle yellow stony layer is called as sclerotesta, and the inner layer is fleshy. The nucellus develop the nucellar beak in the micropylar region. In the nucellar beak is present a hollow small cavity or chamber called pollen chamber. Two archegonia are present in female gametophyte near the archegonial chamber. Ovules get vascular supply by the vascular strand in the outer and inner fleshy layer. There is no vascular supply for the middle stony layer. Thank you.
Thank you for watching our video.